Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Mfjj here at podiumarcher.com looking at the Xpedition Nexlite 30 axle to axle, 3.6 pounds. I'm going to say that again for you in the back who couldn't hear me. 3.6 pounds. Impressive. Getting down to this weight is nearly impossible without a little product called Maglite. If you're interested in Maglite or curious about Maglite, go back and watch the podcast I did on the Podium Archer podcast with me and Brandon McDonald. The guys the engineers in there are in there explaining what makes their stuff different than other magnesium products. It's kind of interesting, kind of unique, and it's their own exclusive thing, which is pretty cool. Hey, you. Yeah, you. Jeff just told me a statistic that makes me very, very sad. 60 to 70% of you are not subscribed to our channel. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to incentivize you. You ready for it? If we can get to 100K by the end of the year, which isn't impossible, the coupon code for MFJJ will give you 15% off for all of January. Everything you could possibly want that's allowed to be discounted will give you a 15% off for the whole month. If we get to 100K by New Year's, please share it. Get your friends involved. Get us to 100, you'll get more money off. Please head over to Xpedition's website, go to their dealer locator, and find your nearest dealer if you're interested in this bow. Please do not buy it from me. I am not trying to get your money. I want you to deal with the dealer. I want you to go down to their store. I want you to have their service, even though I can sell you this bow directly. Please, please go buy it from your dealer. If you're going to buy it online, and only if you're going to buy it online, podiumarcher.com for all those archery needs, $99 and up is free shipping. And coupon code MFJJ may save you a little money. Excuse me. Front mount integration, rear mount integration, rest and sight, cut into the riser, no additional extra parts and pieces hardware. Quiver attachments, 2-piece, awesome little integrated vibration dampeners, multiple stabilizer positions, rear mount, front mount, easy change wheeling system. Now it's not driven, it's not threaded, but you loosen the 2 screws on the side, pull the screw out, swap apart, pop it back in, do the same thing with the other side. You officially moved the limb, and you didn't need a bow press to do it. That's an improvement. Thank you for that. So much of this would go away if patents weren't an issue, because everybody'd probably use 1 or 2 of them out there, in all honesty. But because the patents were forced to try to figure out other ways to do this, I appreciate Xpedition coming up with a different option and a different way to do it, because it is something that I'm really adamant about brands needing. All right, let's check some specs here. We got a 30 axle to axle, 6 3/8 inch brace height, 3.6 physical weight, 336 foot a second. Available in 50-pound peak, 60-pound peak, 65, 70, and 80. $15.99. I'm going to say that again. $15.99 for a 3.6 pound bow. I don't know hardly anybody doing that. So that in itself is pretty damn impressive. But let's measure some of this stuff and see what we get. So it looks like about 30 1/8. Brace height, 6 3/8. You got that okay? Yeah. 6 3/8. Looks like it's spot on. Plus 1/8. Let's see our reflex geometry. It's like about 1 5/8 reflex. All right. So this is weighing in right at 4 pounds. It has 2/10 of a pound on it for the arrow rest. And we did establish that these dampeners weigh 1/10 because we took them off of the other one. So this is about 3.7 pounds. It's still really light. It's not quite 3.6. Super close. It's within 1/10. Now this bow is a little unique in the regard that it does not go directly to 30 inches. It goes to 30 1/4 or 29 3/4. We're going to go ahead and go 30 1/4 on our measurements today because that's what we have to go off of. And we will see what we get here for draw length. And most bow brands would call this 30 inches. So I'm not sure why they're not calling it 30 inches. 30 inches is in the bolt hole, but if you look at the handle, 30 1/4 is the front side of the handle. So personally, I think the bow is really, any other brand would call that a 30-inch bow. They would not call that a 30 1/4 inch bow. So hats off to Xpedition for being as honest as you can possibly be. Let's see what our loadout point looks like, and then we'll set our weight. I think it's like 2 pounds heavy right now. Maybe just over it, 30 1/8 maybe. Looks like about 30 1/8. 70.2. Good. Time to send it. Oh, God, put it in your arrow rest, buddy. There we go. It's definitely harder to break over than the 33, but you are cycling it back farther, so it should be harder to break over. It's still not terrible. There's not like a big hump or a big dump that I can do. 326, 327. There you go. Still 327. 326, 327. So we'll take a 327 average on that. Shoot some 450s. Now I know you're going to say, oh, that's 30 1/4. I'm telling you, this measures out at what every other bow manufacturer would call 30 inches, or within a reasonable amount of it. So that's a real fair speed, and I think their 33 got shorted because of the draw length they chose to call it versus what another bow manufacturer would call it. You can set that bow at 30 1/2. It's going to measure at 30 1/4. It's going to measure the same that this does. So my personal opinion, they're shorting themselves, and that's where the velocity difference, if you compare them, comes from. It's a little slower bow to begin with, but it was 14 feet slow on the speed. They'd have gotten that back really quick in the draw length category. 290. 291. So, I mean, this seems right in check with almost everything else, for the most part. $290, $291. All right, we'll call it 291. Then we'll shoot some 650 grain arrows. And then we'll reset this girl to 29 inches. So we can get you a speed variable difference. Now, before I shoot this arrow, not everybody can afford a $1,600 bow. I'm very cognizant of that. I'm very aware of that. Times are tough. Money's tight. I get what's going on. Because of that, I've contemplated this for about 3 years, and I finally made a decision that I'm going to offer certified pre-owned used bows on my website. We've got a national trade-in program. You can trade it in at podiumarchery.com for credit towards anything in the store. And then also we'll take those bows, go inspect them, go through them, make sure they're all good to go, put new strings and cables on them from gas, and resell them on the website as certified pre-owned. Take care of them before you ship them right to you. Call it all good. So if you're in the market, something to consider. And if you're a dealer out there following this video or watching this video, because I'm sure there's a few of you out there, we resell to dealers. We have a discounted deal. Scroll to the bottom of the homepage, click on dealer pricing, fill out the application. We'll resell to you just like anybody else. And we will also take your old stock in as credit towards anything else. Something to consider. Comment down below on how bad of an idea that is. I think I've had one comment already that said, you can't make money on used bows, you idiot. $243. 242. 242. All right, I'll set this at 29 and get you that length. All right, we are now at 29 inches, 70 pounds, 450 grain arrow. Get a comparable for you so we can figure out what it's going to change inch by inch. Yeah, there's a little vibration after the shot on this when you hold it. The bow dissipates really quickly, like it's not loud at all, but you can definitely feel the riser flex a little bit after it goes off. But I would like to reiterate that I am holding 3.6 pounds. So that's going to happen. 274. 275. What am I missing here? Oh, there it is. They all look the same. Last one here. $275 average. I'm going to set this down to 65 pounds, and then we can get you the realistic arrow speed. This is the number I really want brands to embrace and emphasize and publish. This is a speed that the average guy will achieve. 65 pounds, 29 inches, 450 grain arrow. Pretty pleased with sugar on top, guys. All right, here we go.
But they're game used.
Realistic arrow speed. You're such a fucking scubby. 265. 268. 268 average. One more. All right, we'll go 267 average on that, and now we'll get some sound for you. All right, so we got 81 decibel reading. We might have lost audio through part of this, so if the audio's a little quiet or a little tweaky, sorry. 81 decibels, we're gonna put it in the Torquematic 5000 and see what it's like there, and then do some math for you. All right, get you here squared up a little bit. Looks pretty square. All right, straighten that up with this bar. About there. Okay. I almost want that to be loose so it just centers itself as easy as possible. Might be better. Okay, let's see what we get. .13. Wow. There's got to be something else going on here. This is very intriguing. I love how you turn away from it every time I do it.
I just don't want to get
5.12. It's on me. Like, I'm gonna die if this thing blows up. 5.11. So 5.12 average. That's pretty awesome. All right, so it looks like we got 8 feet a second down from 30 to 29. So once again, the average, as you shorten the draw length, it's going to lose about 8 feet per inch, which is pretty minimal on the speed overall. Realistic arrow speed at 267. That's the one to remember. That's the one that matters. They're within 9 feet on this bow, and mind you, they say it's 30 1/4. I measured that at 30 1/8, and every bow I've measured this year is at least 30 1/8. So I think that's an unfair way for them to measure it for themselves. So I'm calling this bow 30 inches. I'm not calling it 30 1/4. Sorry, I'm not doing it. So that constitutes 327 within 9. Good on you. Let's see what kind of speed we got here. That's a 10 for speed. Weight at 3.6. It was a 10th off, 3.7. That's an 8. Tunability. It's a better system than created before. I'll give you a 7 there because you don't have to press it to change it. Integration and features. Integratable quivers, front mount sight, rear mount pick. Multiple places to mount a stabilizer, rear mount settings, front mount settings. I mean, lots of good options there. They do make a limb, why am I drawing a blank? Like a limb leg thing. They didn't have one here for the videos that we're making, but they are out and do exist. I'll give you a 7. Honesty. You're you're a little over an 1/8 off on your axle to axle. Your brace height was spot on. Your weight was 3.7. I mean, give or take. It could have been off by 1/100th to get that hit. Your draw length, honestly, is spot on, even though you're calling it longer than it is, for what everyone else measures at. And you're within 10 feet on this measurement. I'm going to give you an 11 for honesty. Feel. The bow has a little bit of vibration after the shot, but it's quiet. It doesn't like ting or anything like that. Maybe a 7. Design. There's magnesium risers, I do believe, are somewhat of our future as people try to get lighter weight things, and you are machining it out of one block of stuff, which I think is a superior way to do it. It's just me. I'll give you a 7. Value. You have a 3.6 pound bow, 30 inches axle to axle at $15.99. Did I say 5? Yeah. I got to give you a 5, like, because this is really close to aluminum prices. I think it is, in some instances, I think that is aluminum prices. So it's pretty awesome. Sound at 81. I think that's really getting towards the lower end now. I think we're going to give her a 4. Appeal. I'm not really hot on the aesthetic of it, although I think it's really done well. Magnesium is going to be a thicker cut than aluminum, so things are going to look a little bit blockier in its construction, but I'll give you a 3. Let's see what we get. 69. Comment down below what you think of this video and other ones like it. Am I a moron? Am I an idiot? Do I have no idea what I'm doing? Am I a complete fool? Just offering products, just offering a way to measure things. Oh, tell me how the Torquematic 5000 works. Always interesting stuff. Thanks for watching.